She was warned. She was given an explanation. Nevertheless, she persisted. This was the defense of Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader / Tootsie Pop commercial icon, when he silenced Senator Elizabeth Warren during a debate over Attorney General nominee Jeff Sessions. But Senator Yertle McTurtle wasn't just muzzling Warren, but also Coretta Scott King. Warren was reading from a letter Ms. King wrote in 1986 urging Congress to block the appointment of Jeff Sessions for federal judge. You see, in the early 80s, African-American voters in Alabama began utilizing the same absentee ballots white voters have been utilizing for years, resulting in black candidates winning majorities on the school board and county commissions. And Sessions celebrated the civil rights victory by prosecuting 3 African-American activists who assisted elderly black citizens with their absentee ballots, or as old Seshi likes to call it, voter fraud. Said Ms. King, anyone who has used the power of his office as United States Attorney to intimidate and chill the free exercise of the ballot by citizens should not be elevated to our courts. Yeah, Jeff Sessions, you can't manipulate American elections. Apparently that's Russia's job. And it'll take more than just Michelangelo, the old-age mutant conservative turtle, to stifle the words of Coretta Scott King. Yeah, she was warned. After her husband, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., became involved in the Montgomery bus boycott, she began receiving death threats over the phone. Bullets were fired through their front door, and on January 30th, 1956, Coretta was home when their house was bombed. When her father suggested she move in with him for the sake of her safety, she insisted on staying at her husband's side to continue fighting for civil rights. She was given an explanation. On April 4th, 1968, Coretta received a phone call from Reverend Jesse Jackson explaining that her husband had been shot for preaching about peaceful racial coexistence. Still, she persisted. After Martin's death, Coretta thrived as a civil rights leader in her own right, advocating for not only African Americans, but also the LGBT community. In 1983, she urged the amendment of the Civil Rights Act to include gays and lesbians. And in 2004, 2 years before her death, Coretta publicly denounced George W.'s proposed constitutional amendment banning same-sex marriage. Oh, W. When it comes to the worst American president of the 21st century, you get the silver medal. So yeah, Mitchy Mitch, you can try to silence the words of Coretta Scott King, or Elizabeth Warren, or the 3 million Americans who didn't vote the Legion of Doom into the White House. Still, we persist.